mis amores, welcome back to episode 6 of MIYA with myself, Abbie Knights, and the ladies.
What's up, y'all? Lornalitz here.
Hi, my name is Ariel Yasmine.
We are back at it for you guys. Another cool topic. Today it's all about living life in a peaceful state of mind. Before we dive into that, though, we're definitely going to get into a couple interesting facts, I guess you could say. So I'm not sure if any of you ladies knew, or anybody that's out there listening, that Spanish is actually the world's number 2 language in terms of how many people speak it. I thought that was really cool.
Yes.
I feel special.
I'm really not. I'm surprised at that one.
Mandarin. I think
thought it was
Mandarin's the
Mandarin.
third one, right?
I think
that's
so.
the third most spoken language.
Or I know French is French is up there too.
It's weird, though, because I definitely didn't think Spanish was number 2. That's for sure.
I would have bet money on it, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the new colonizers, like almost everyone everywhere is like Spanish or Hispanic.
Wow, that's cool. Okay, well, good to know. Learning something new every day, okay? So, also in 2019, the Hispanic population in the U.S. reached 60.6 million and made it the second fastest growing population. So, number 2 language, number 2 in fastest growing population. I'm like, round of applause for that.
Yes.
It's like a big old party. I'm like, listen.
Big up.
I get excited about stuff like that.
Me
And
too.
also, a fun fact for those of you that may not have known or that perhaps may not have been aware that, dun dun dun, who was the first famous Latin person? Do you ladies have any thoughts on this? And you can't cheat. I didn't
like
know.
a historical figure, or like a famous.
I mean, look, I personally didn't know. Like, I myself, I didn't know the answer to this until I found this information. So,
I'm like Rita Hayworth, but she's probably not the first. But I know she's Latina, but they had her pass as white for films.
yeah, well, no, she was definitely one of the historical figures. But apparently, according to research I did, anybody feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Joseph Marion Hernandez was the first Hispanic American to serve in Congress. He became an American citizen when Florida became American territory back in 1822. Just a couple years ago, a couple years ago.
That was like last year.
last year. So yeah, there's a couple fun facts for everybody listening in. Definitely was news to me. I didn't know any of this stuff, so I feel like either I'm a dummy or I just didn't pay enough attention in school. So learn something new every day. Like they say, you're gonna learn you something new. Exactly.
Yeah.
In school they talked about like early U.S. for like 3 years in a row, but they never went like that much into depth.
I wonder why. I feel like it would have been so cool for them to do that. Like, hello, we want to learn about this stuff too. Like, we matter.
They don't want to know all the details.
Okay.
They're like, oh, here's a brief overview. Three years in a row. They won't notice.
I'm going to need the details. I'm going to show up with a pen, a piece of paper. I'm going to jot it down just so I'm ready for a debate anytime. Ready to go. So today is all about con calma. For anybody that doesn't speak Spanish, it basically means with peace. So it's all about living your life in a peaceful state of mind, which after the year that we've had, I feel like that's nearly impossible in a lot of situations. So check it out. I want to know what your thoughts are on this, ladies, because I know for me personally, I didn't come into understanding the necessity or the power of saying no in a lot of situations. So how do you ladies feel about saying no when people ask you for things? And also, what are your thoughts in trying to avoid confrontational situations? Because, people out here always trying to look for mess. So, what are your thoughts on this? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could just kind of chime in real quick. So basically, it was really hard for me to say no because I'm like a people pleaser when it comes to my friends and family. Like, I want to help them, but it got to a point where I needed to say no because I was getting stressed out and I was wearing myself thin. So I did start saying no. And since I, made that choice to say no to certain things, not everything, depending. I do feel like I felt better once I said no, but I think for me, the hardest part was trying to find an excuse because sometimes I just don't want to do it, like I made plans to sit at home on the couch with Netflix, my glass of wine, and like, that's what I want to do. So I got a phone call or a text, and they're like, "Oh, can you come help me with this?" And I'm like, "No, I already have plans." So technically, I'm not really lying. Like, I do have plans with myself.
I mean, so, okay, but here's what I want to know. Who gets to determine what plans hold more significance than others? Because I feel like a plan for myself in my me time is just as important as a commitment I have if I'm going out to meet someone for dinner or a business call. I mean, same difference, right? At least in my world. I'm like, look, it's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's anyone's business to know what plans you have. If it's not gonna serve you, if you feel like it's not gonna serve you, then you could say no. But don't say no all the time. Like, don't be that friend that's like, yeah, let's hang out on Friday. And then Friday comes, you're like, you know what? I don't want to go out. I'm going to stay and I'm going to say no. No. You can't make plans and then back out. But I'm talking about like, other things.
Yeah.
You should say no to.
Yeah.
How about you, Ariel? How do you feel about that?
You extra quiet over there today.
I was kind of thinking, I was like, how am I? I'm a very honest person when it comes to stuff. So if it's really just like not my thing, or if I don't have time, then I'll just be honest about it. Or I mean, like for work, for example, if it involves like me working and making money, I'm like, I feel like a lot of things can just come down to time management for that. So I'm just super driven with stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I can do it, and then I make it happen. But yeah, I'm just like super honest. Like if someone's like, "Oh, hey, let's go to this. Hey, let's go on this trip. Let's do." I'm like, yo, I'm in school full time. I'm busy. I've been filming, and then I'll be like, I have work and other stuff, and it's just so I'm just like honest and tell people I'm like I would like to if I could and I have the time, but I don't, and I'm sorry. So I just. Yeah, I'm just very straightforward with people. I don't want there to be any miscommunication or anything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I try to do everything, but if I can't, I can't.
I'm like,
yeah.
Listen, priorities and time management, because I suck at it. So I can't get derailed. I'm a little ADD, so the minute something happens, I'm like a little dog, squirrel, and I take off. So, I mean, but do you think it's possible to live a stress-free life? And what do you think are the benefits to that? Because sometimes a stress-free life can mean cutting off certain friendships, limiting your interaction with people that are toxic or negative to your energy or your peace of mind. So, ladies, where are we at with this? Like, I need to know. What are your thoughts?
I felt so much less stressed when I cut off certain family members.
Yeah.
Like, because I think that's kind of the hardest part is cutting off certain family members. But then, like, I can tell when someone isn't good in my life, and I'm like, what? Because you're family, and I have to have you in my life. Like, we wouldn't be friends otherwise, or whatever, right? So, yeah, and I think a lot of it's spiritual health too. Like, I am Christian, and I feel like when I'm spiritually healthy, that's when I feel the least amount of stress. So I think it depends, like, how you handle your stress and what you put back into your life, if you handle everything in a positive way. So, you know, you can handle your stress by, like, okay, I'm going to take my time today to go work out. Or, like, I'm going to go cook and do something therapeutic for myself. Like, for me, cooking is pretty therapeutic, and I like trying new things. But yeah, work, like, just taking care of yourself, for it's a good way to de-stress, but you're not neglecting your body or what's good for
Yeah,
you.
That's a good
absolutely.
one.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Ariel. I feel like, it's important to definitely cut out the toxic people in your life. But like, let's say you live like in a stressful environment, for example, like New York City. Like the moment you wake up in the morning probably is the most important part of the day for you, because once you step outside, like everyone is walking like they're about to like run a marathon. Like there's just like so much stress in that environment. You do have to find time
Like, where
to,
is
like, if
the
you live in New
hurry?
York, like everyone's in a hurry, they got somewhere to go, somewhere to see, someone to see, things to do. And so basically I feel like you just have to like you just have to find something to keep the balance. So whether that's yoga or working out or meditating, like that's kind of like what I did when I was living in New York. I live in LA currently, and it's a little bit stressful, but not as much as New York City. But I definitely find time for like yoga and meditation. But like right now, for example, I'm filming out of Puerto Rico. There is no stress here. Like the environment here is so stress free.
So maybe I need to go
I
there.
get to sleep. Yes, I get to sleep. Like it just feels so good to be here. Sometimes taking that trip, that vacation, and like stepping away for a little bit and then going back is a good stress reliever too.
I will say though, I kind of feel like, well, I want to go back to the yoga thing first of all. For people that have never done yoga, that might have felt like I did at my first yoga class, and I went to a hot yoga class at that.
I've never done it.
It's very weird. I had no idea what they were talking about. I'm looking at my friend. I'm like, girl, what does that mean? She's like, shh, just look at what everybody else is doing and copy that. And I was
Yeah.
like, I had no idea. And it's like this forward motion and downward
Yes.
doggy. I feel like everybody knows what downward dog is. So doggy, listen, that's one. If nobody knows any other thing, they know that.
They know
But
that dog.
I was like, what does this stuff mean? It's like a whole nother language. I had no
Yeah.
idea what half of the names were for half of these poses. Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, so we're gonna be here, now we're gonna be here, okay, now we're gonna be like this, and now we're gonna be like this. Look, it was a lot going on. Great workout. I totally get it. I'm here for the flexibility. But like, there was a lot happening in there. I mean, it's a
I
lot
actually
going
forgot
on.
about it. I've done a live stream class for it.
Have you?
It was cool. I mean, because I like to dance and stuff, so I like the different stretches. But if people try to make it too emotional, it's just kind of not my thing. I'm like, I'll just go read or watch a movie or like read the Bible or something. I can't relate to that. I just kind of want to work out.
Yeah, and call it a day.
Yeah.
I haven't been to any classes where it's become too emotional, but I definitely did find it a challenge. I mean, I'm like, look, we all have different ways of dealing with things. After the last year that we've had between a pandemic, COVID, people are losing relatives, not being able to leave their houses, stress is at an all-time high. Regardless of how we may choose to want to try to sugarcoat that, it is what it is. So, what do you ladies think outside of yoga are the best ways to try to combat stress? I'm seeing people with sage everywhere. I'm like, this a new thing now? Like, they selling sage at the store. I've never seen that before. That's new. Like people trying to cleanse themselves of like negative spirits,
Like
but
cleansing
you haven't
their
been
home.
out. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I like going to Marshalls or Home Goods. I like lighting candles, and
Yes, I like that too.
yeah, or using my I have like a personal planner so I can like write everything down so I don't forget all the stuff I need to do in the week. Because I know if everything's well organized, then I have a lot of stress off because I'm like, okay, like I can do this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I can agree with that too. I love some candles. Candles, baths, I think are
Yeah,
really great. I think sometimes not using your phone, like actively turning it off or putting it on silent and just giving your mind a break from just things,
absolutely.
social media, phone calls, text messages. I mean, there's a lot going on throughout the day. So I also think that being
Hmm.
outdoors is good. I mean,
Yes,
people
being
don't like doing
outdoors,
activities
Yeah.
absolutely.
outdoors.
I was gonna
Hiking.
say that, Abby. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say hiking. You know, like moving your body and exercising, but like being outdoors is a great way to, like being outdoors around nature. I feel like is a great way to just keep the balance and try to like limit the stress, but also sleeping. Sleeping for me is really important. Like I need to get my 9 hours sleep. Like that's really important. Like
Hmm.
if I don't get 9 hours sleep, if I get like 5 or 6, it definitely does affect
First
me.
of all, I so second all of that. I love sleep, especially as much as I've been working this past year. Really, I feel like I've worked more than I ever have. People are like, "Oh, I have so much time with my day," and I'm like, "But where?" When I get to sleep, I'm like, it is the
Hmm.
best time ever. For me, I'm like, don't call my
Yes.
phone. Don't ask me to do
Hmm.
anything. Don't ask me to check my emails. I'm like, look, I'm not here for it. So I can totally
No.
see the sleep part of that. I'm here for it. I like sleep. I like sleep. It's a good one. What about you, Ariel? Do you like sleeping? Yes, no?
I love it, but the thing is, if I sleep too much, I wake up grumpy because because then I think of
Yeah.
all the things I could have done to be more productive. So I have like
Mm-hmm.
a sweet spot. Like I can't sleep in too much, but then I can't sleep too little. Like I actually feel the most energized if I sleep between like 6, 7 hours. Like I went to sleep like
Oh
close
yeah.
to 1 a.m. last night, and
Yeah, I'm gonna need a little more than that.
I woke up at like 8, and I feel great. So yeah, there's like a
Hmm.
little sweet spot for me, or I would rather take a nap. Sometimes taking a nap really helps me. It's just kind of like a mental
Oh
reset that I
yeah.
really need.
Okay.
Um,
That
like a
power
good
I
little
get
nap.
that.
power nap or
Mm-hmm.
something that helps me a lot. Um, but yeah, I can't sleep. I can't sleep too much. That puts me in a bad mood.
Doesn't put me in a bad mood, but sometimes if I sleep too much, it does make me feel like a lag a little bit. I drag my feet a little more. I don't feel as energetic. But
Yeah.
I definitely need more than like 6. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
So for people out there, I'm like, look, I need time to wake up in the mornings. I need my space. I think also meditating is a really good thing to try to do when you're feeling overwhelmed. It's good for mental health. So for people out there that are
Hmm.
not into meditating, definitely something to look into. Look into if you've got places locally. There's a million and one videos on the University of YouTube. So you guys can check that out there. Just input whatever caption it is that you're looking for in meditation, and it will take you right there. I guarantee somebody somewhere is doing some sort of a class. Find something you like. And if you're not into any of that, then I mean, look, people have a lot of extracurricular stress relievers that they are into as well. Whatever
Hmm.
floats your boat. I just think that it's very important for people to prioritize mental health and mental
Hmm.
wellness with where society is now and where we are as culture and people, because it's a crazy world out
Yeah,
here. Mm-hmm.
really is like, or even like art stuff, like I love painting,
Oh, that's a good
crocheting,
one.
playing guitar,
Crochet.
practicing an instrument or anything. Like all that stuff kind of helps me.
Yeah, those are good ones. Painting and instruments, I can definitely relate to. I don't know about the crochet part. My grandma's got that on lock, but for me, definitely like piano, painting would be a good one too. So creativity is a big one as well. So
Hmm.
for the people listening in, figure out what your best form of balance is when it comes to creating peace within your own world, in your own space. And there's no right or wrong way to go about it. It's just what works best for you. So I love it. I love this. Peace is a big thing for me nowadays. I'm not here for the drama. If you're bringing it,
No drama.
I gotta look. You gotta exit stage left. I'm not interested. I don't want to hear about it. I don't care who it is. So people, learn to prioritize yourself, your happiness, and your mental wellness. So that's moral of the story today. Take care of you. Prioritize yourself.
Yes.
Yes. So
Absolutely.
we will be back next week. Same place, same time. What were you going to say, Lornalitz? I caught you in the middle of
I
going.
was going to say, yeah, I was going to say, I would love to hear how they handle their stress. So definitely leave comments for us to read.
I would love that. You guys can hit us up at MIYA Podcast, MIYA Podcast on Instagram. You can hit us up individually as well. We're going to go ahead and include the handles right below so that you guys can contact all of us individually. So until next time, you guys, be safe and keep your mind at peace. We'll see you soon. I'm like, okay.